Welcome to tonight's episode of Get It Forward. Talking about non-league journeys tonight, we've got Tom Crosby with us, goalkeeper for Retford.
Right winger.
Yeah, right winger. Right winger, goalkeeper. To a goalkeeper, ex-Retford and Handsworth, to name a few clubs. Over to you, Tom.
Welcome, Tom.
Thanks for having me, lads. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Start of a new era. Getting forward, first guest.
Yeah, it's an honour. It's an honour.
Happy for you to be here, mate. Happy for you to be here.
So we're going to go straight in. First question.
Yeah.
Why Chef Wednesday? We'll not talk about it in a minute because
especially after last night. Fans forum.
Yeah. Follow on to that. Basically, from when I can remember, which were 92. Stood on cop with our old man against Everton. Didn't know at the time, but our old man's an Everton fan. That's why I went to that game. So, in Wednesday end, hour 5, I think. Yeah. So
half and half scarf on.
I don't think we did anyway. And it weren't a boring 0-0. I think Hurst scored an header, but that was disallowed. But it was my first ever time at Hillsborough. And I'm sure it was me, my dad, my brother. Might have been a couple more, but what I can remember, and since that, I think it were either I follow Everton, but my brother just didn't let me go anywhere. And my granddad wouldn't let me go anywhere else either. Yeah. So it was just from that 5-year-old remembering Wednesday v Everton at Hillsborough 92 where I started, and Wednesday v Everton at Hillsborough 92 where I started, and I'd like to say there's been many ups.
Oh yeah, definitely.
There's been a few, mate, but there's a lot more downs that outweigh that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so, more recent times.
But yeah, I don't think.
So watch them for how long, Cross?
I mean, do you know what?
Were they regular as a kid for your family and stuff?
As a lad, and again, because I mean, weekends were always took up with Sundays. Obviously, as a young lad playing football, Dad would take you to football, what have you.
What were your junior Sunday side?
Junior Sunday side was Aston Boys. Aston Boys, which was unbelievable days then. I got took to Faulkner Lane at Woodhouse. It was my dad's best mate, Paul Hemming, who were running them. And to be fair to Paul Hemming, he run them all the way up till they went into to North East Counties a few years ago. Yeah. So he built that from that to what it is now at Swallowness Miners Welfare, and then pass torch sort of thing.
Yeah. Still in touch with any lads?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Paul, who was manager, his son's one of my best mates. Paul still is my dad's best mate. They used to go to Wednesday match with us and stuff like that. Family friends, growing up together, and I keep in touch with a lot of them. And a lot, went on to. Remember, we had a player. Remember Carl Tyler at United?
Oh yeah, centre half.
We had Tommy Tyler
and stuff like that.
Everton, yeah.
Ex-Super Red.
Ex-Super Red. Carl
started it all well.
Ex-Villa.
Let's get them. There, Tommy, he played with us, and he went to United from Aston. And I mean, 10, 11-year-old, I've never seen a kid strike a ball like Tom Tyler ever. Yeah. And it was just a great bunch because it were a proper family. Like we all stuck together for them, the same sort of players throughout your age group. Like people didn't shoot off everywhere. Yeah. Not that we were shit, we didn't get scouted. It was just we were like you had the same close bunch that just. It was great, and we won things. Your tournaments. You go to your Butlins with, and we were always in that quarter-final, semi-final. We were always there. We weren't at first round or.
We house for trophies and stuff.
Oh yeah, do you know? It were all do you know like the night? Well, I mean, to be fair, parents were all the same. If there were any chance of a piss up, they were out. Do you know what I mean? I mean, we used to go to Butlins. Tournament started Saturday. We'd have Friday off school so they could get bladdered Friday night at Butlins. Do you know what I mean? It were mint. Yeah. And they were.
So big shout out to parents.
Parents, they did as well there. Aston Boys were a big part of growing up. And
I always look at my time in junior football. I were at Romoy St Joseph's, very similar to yourselves in terms of core group of lads.
Yeah.
They just went through age groups.
Yeah,
Some were
yeah.
successful. You know, there were obviously young owls, junior blades.
Yeah,
Middlewood always used to have decent
Middlewood,
size.
yeah.
But we had a good group of young lads that you still talk to now, because the fondest times of your junior life were playing your football and stuff. It was what you live for, isn't it, during the week?
Yeah, and I think I was lucky with mine. We played with Kexford Chiefs.
Yeah.
We had a good side. We won under 11s, everything. But it were all lads I went to school with as well. So we got that doubled it.
Yeah.
So I went out 30th of November, 5 of them.
Yeah.
Out of 7 lads on that night out, there's still them lads from 11 years old.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and it's them memories, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of secrets in there.
And
you can refer back to it in all sorts, can't you? The chat is...
And this is what will make this podcast hopefully take off, is that these stories are still lads you knock about with.
That's
so there'll be stories that come out where you can stitch a couple of lads up as well. Next week we'll have them on and they'll be
Exactly,
that's
mate.
hopefully what we'll game for it. So Aston boys up to, how old were you then when you...
I went from, 6-year-old were just like where you play your friendlies, to 7s, and then from 8s till about 15, 16, no change, like nothing, and there'd be tournaments where, like from goalkeeper's side, I know I'm jumping a little bit here, but there'd be times where I'd have to go in net, and that's where it sort of stemmed to like, Crosby will go in or what have you. And it weren't a case of like, he's going in net. It was just like, our old man were a keeper.
Right.
So it was like, anytime you play Wembley with your mates, I had 2 keepers. One were at Barnsley, what my best mate, and my other best mate were at Leeds United, Jamie Anderson and Andy Naylor. We play Wembley with lads after school. Them 2 dickheads that want to play outfield all the time. Never go in net. Crosby go in net. So I'd go in net.
Which is surprising. Were you being vertically challenged? Was that same as a kid or?
Smaller net.
5-0s. Actually, you were taller when you were younger. You can come down.
Well, that obviously frustrated, because you were like, you're keepers, you're at a professional club, go in net, let's see how good, as a kid, you're like, let's see how good you are, then let's this, that, other. Never went in net. So we're always in and around sticks. And
you set out as a winger, is this right?
But yeah, for Aston boys, I were a winger, which, I know what you don't get now is an old school winger where you get a yard and whip a ball in.
No.
Come
back into midfield.
That's what I'm saying. And every time I had chalk on, my dad always used to say, get chalk on your boots, wide as you can. Some days I literally took that as in, you haven't moved for fucking 60 minutes, what are you doing? But and then I get dragged. Close any chance. But it was like, I got the ball and I'm going to say beat a man here, but
got a yard. Half a yard.
And I just put it in box. Yeah. And one thing that I know, like, if a few lads watch it who know me, I could put a ball in box, and and that was what I was good at, and that's why I was on wing. But I was never like nippy.
No,
I was never but I just got the ball and did the simple things, which a kid once told me, do the simple things right, which were Lee Thompson, Chris Bowler for me, who had Everest in County Senior League.
So they'd have been County Senior Prem Everest.
Yeah, and
they
played it behind Handsworth Working Men's Club, if you remember.
On Park?
Was that pitch on its own, but it's gone now.
Where Handsworth Cup used to be played.
Yeah, on there. And it was its own little closed-in pitch. It weren't brilliant, but it was like, it were out at where everyone, and it was sound, it were...
And close enough to home.
Correct. Yeah. And it were 5 minutes from Boozer straight after. And that were when I thought, and he said, can you come and help me?
Yeah.
And it was near Aurora game. It was that facility just down from Aurora on there. Do you know where they play women's football now? And a few pitches.
Phoenix.
No, other way. Down.
Other way.
I know what you mean.
Sheffield United's cricket club across from that one. Yeah.
And I went there, watched... watched them, and I'd known Carl Bowler, his son, from being babies.
Yeah.
And obviously Chris were a good friend of my dad's, and he said, yeah, you can come and play with us. And I had minimum of 2 years just getting belted, playing football, men's football, but them 2 years are just, when I look back now, you look back on your time and you think, 2 years of kicking off at 1 because there's no lights. You're in alehouse at 18 for
games coming on.
For 3:15 you're down, And then one of them will say, right, you had 4 or 5 pints, game's gone off. Should we go home, get showers, go to town and go out? And your Saturdays are done.
Yeah.
But
working by then?
Yeah, apprentice. Earning nothing, but seem to have more money then than I've got now. But do you want to give your dad a thanks?
And still playing as a winger at this time.
Yeah, still a winger. And then I think it was more towards end. I used to struggle with my hamstring, and I don't know why. Because I've never had
it. Was going downtown straight after the game, and
probably that thinking I can just
it. But all to do with playing for Everest, pitches or sludge. It was getting booze and going out downtown.
I think
you did that one on dance floor.
Thinking I'm alright to do that. And that was like looking back, probably. You know the enjoyment factor of.
I was just about to say, that fondest time you've had, do you think?
I think with people who I've played with.
Good lads.
Yeah, and do you know, some lads that didn't want to, that could have, why aren't you gone and progressed a bit? Why aren't you gone and done this? Well, I like doing this. And it's like, some will say, what a waste. Why?
Yeah.
But then, do you know, when they're playing and they're enjoying themselves and they're expressing what they can, because they're just relaxed.
Yeah.
And there's no one bollocking them every 5 minutes or because they haven't done this. I think that's why you saw that side of them. That's how they play.
And I think that's similar now to sometimes with North East counties where lads might work away a lot in a week, so they can't commit to training. So that might just be their level because that's the commitment.
That's the commitment, yeah, 100%, yeah.
I think sometimes as well, I played county senior. And of course, when you go into North East counties, Unibon, Conference North, you've got a lot of lads from different areas of the country. So you don't get that banter after the game. You know we're very lucky when I'm at Penistone at the minute because we've got a drinking culture. No, we haven't got a drinking culture. We've certainly got a good group of lads who will stay for a beer after because they're local lads. But the higher up you get, you've got lads driving, you've got to have a couple. But I always remember back to my time at Swinton Athletic at the time. And it was like, most people were in walking distance at ground. They were exactly the same as what you said. You had a 1 o'clock kick-off, which was absolutely fantastic because by 3 o'clock you'd done and dusted. And then you enjoyed a beer together and
that was it.
Some went downtown,
whatever you wanted to do.
Whatever you wanted to do. But that was how I spent a lot of my Saturdays as well. But and the fun times, you can't. If someone said to me like 10 o'clock back, would you have a change out? I don't think they would. Or I certainly wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't. And I always think that, again, looking back on what I have, I've achieved more than I ever thought I would. Not that I've done out brilliant, but in my eyes I have.
Yeah.
Where, looking back now, as a kid, you want to be a footballer. I want to be a professional footballer. I was never going to be, and obviously I weren't. Would I change out? No chance.
No.
It was unbelievable. To do the things we've done and the things we've won as my mates we had from Aston and the nights we've had and the memories we've got, the friends we've still got.
We can take them away,
No, not ever. And some of them lads, like, through them years. And that's where I think the workshop side of it, I never felt I belonged. Do you know what I mean? If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I weren't a big enough character to just be like, are you going all right? I weren't that.
Yeah.
I was that kid who, I'd go and sit at 17 peg and I'm not bothered about sitting at, do you know what I mean? And I still am now. There's times where I've been in changing rooms now and I know I'm playing, but part of me just thinks, I don't want to be arrogant and just go, I'm one. Like, I'll sit anywhere. I'm not bothered. As soon as Gaffer puts team out, I'll say, do you want me to sit there or do you want to pass me a kit?
Yeah.
I'm a bit too humble at times.
Yeah.
But
is that because number one's normally near the door and it's cold?
It's freezing.
It's cold. You're keen for your either side of the door.
There's no heater there. We played for Turf.
Yeah.
Bob and
Mate Show.
And again, I went to that Turf and there were some great players.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hang on, what am I doing here?
Jas played.
Jas, Tommy Beaver. You've got Obbo that scored every game. You've just proper footballers. Stocks there. Proper footballers. And then obviously it's a close environment, Handsworth, innit?
Yeah.
So Handsworth Club, then with John's one of my good pals, and he had, I mean, to Bramall Lane 3 times, or whatever it were. Some proper memories, winning cups at Bramall Lane and things like that. But it was playing Sundays when, I mean, to be fair, before that, going back to that question, where I went to Phoenix in Central Midlands. Right. So I'm playing Sundays still. And I went to Phoenix. Spen, who was manager, says, and Kieran Gallagher says, come and play with us. Yeah. I'm thinking Central Midlands, that's step 7 or whatever. I thought, well, that's right, because there's some decent little grounds in that. I'll get involved in that. But you know what, mate? I was playing it because I was playing centre mid. Never been a centre mid. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, what am I doing here? I'm disrespecting a kid who can play centre mid here. Yeah. Because, and I was shit. I was shit. I were shit though. Yeah. You know, like, dead ball, like I said, crossing a ball, sound, but I'm not, it's not American football. Don't bring me on for a free kick. It's like, you know what I mean? Yeah. I were dog shit, and I didn't really help the team as much as I'd want to. Yeah. And I was carrying the most weight I probably ever carried. And I just thought, it's not, I need to leave, sort something out. I need to do something here. Or choose one or other or what have you. And playing Sundays, I pulled my thigh, and I've still got an hole in my thigh now, where it was the worst pain ever. Like, it was just a back pass. I don't think it was from you. Were you in that game?
I was playing that game. I can remember playing
at Hillsborough College.
Yeah, Hillsborough College on the hardest 4G in the world. You know,
and I can use both feet comfortably, but I've hit through the ball, and it's sort of like come off the front end of my toe. You know, like, so my toe like that. It's opened everything, but it's gone. And I sat down. I was like, I've never felt pain like this. I've never had an injury like that. And,
I think we only had 11. So like, you win it net.
Yeah.
Stay in net.
But then after that, injured. Yeah, go in net. So I was like, I can't move. Anyway.
Some shots and cunts anyway.
Yeah, no excuse then. But so the game at Hillsborough College, pulling my thigh, were probably the biggest blessing in disguise I could have had for doing what I've done to start that journey of madness, basically.
So from that day, from that thigh going?
That thigh going were basically, I bet it was 2 months. I came to games, watched them, and but I had a good 6-8 weeks where I couldn't do anything.
But you never played out again? Then you went?
Yeah, how did it come about then to non-league?
So getting to non-league I played 2 years, a year and a half in net for Handsworth Turf at times. So not the actual turf, but Handsworth Turf we turned into. And I played a season where we got to cup final again at Bramall Lane. We lost that year, but I saved the winning pen in the semi-final. And I think I got manager's player that year. And for a kid to get manager's player in his first proper season as a keeper, I mean, it either says how good I were or how shit we were as a Sunday League team.
Yeah, but we weren't like when Shea Given played at Newcastle and we were really bad in front of him anyway.
We won things with that Sunday League. We were good Sunday League team for our league. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? We used to get a lot of banter off some Old Turf lads and this, that, other, but for our league, we had a good Sunday League team and like some good players that didn't really do. They could have made a bit of money in the North East counties and things like that. You know what I mean? But
I find there's been loads on Sunday.
Yeah, you see it, don't you? You see it, mate.
Yeah. They've been all right. They'll go watch a pro team on a Saturday and then play the Sunday football. They're happy with that.
Gone and dipped the toe in. Yeah. Had 6 months at it. It's not for me. Yeah. Go play with my mates and go and have a few of them after.
And that's each their own. But then, like, after that season, Wardy got in touch with me at AFC Mansfield. They just got promoted from step 5 to step 4. What's that? Like Evo Stick?
They come from North East Counties, Prem, to Evo Stick. One, would it have been same league as Stocky and that, would it?
Yeah, it were. Yeah. And,
which is still a jump in it.
Oh, that's it.
For somebody to say.
I weren't even.
We're not even on a Saturday ladder
road. Do you know, like, it was just at 11 o'clock. go and play for 2 hours and then shower and go and have a pint and not really taking much seriously. But
they had a good side there, didn't they, Mike, if I remember right? Mansfield had a decent side.
Yeah, they did. They did have a good side. And that were another one where Wardy just said, can you come and help us out? We're playing at, near Wales College, near Spinkle Bumps or something like that. And I says, right, sound, yeah, no problem. And they were playing Swallow Nest, so that was his lot.
Friendly.
And Jay White were injured keeper and said, yeah, I can help you out. And he went, I just need to warn you though, because I thought Wardy was a gaffer. And he weren't. Rudy Funk was a gaffer.
Rudy Funk, yeah.
Which, don't get me wrong, I've got a lot of time for Rudy. Give me an opportunity and whatnot. But batshit crazy. And
absolutely.
What nationality?
I hope you don't see this and my phone says Rudy Funk.
Is it
Rudy will be
is he Hungarian?
He's Hungarian. He's Estonian. Somewhat. Anyway, it turns out Rudy Funk were played handball.
Yeah.
That's where you lob it, innit?
Just.
He won league with Scarborough.
Done well.
Very well.
Done well. And so I went to game and gets in this changing room. Then some lads, like Lloyd Gelsthorpe and a few others from Swallows, pop their head in like, what are you doing in here? And I thought straight away, what am I doing in here? Right, goes out. And I did well.
Yeah.
And I think I surprised them with my feet in terms of clipping balls over fullbacks' heads. And I think because the pitch were narrow, it were easy for me.
Yeah.
So it were you just picking it off.
Yeah.
And I was pulled saves off when I needed to. Handling were fine, did all right. Expected nothing, just expected to have a shower.
Yeah.
Cheers for that.
Cheers for that.
Cheers, thanks, yeah.
Goes to Boozer after that road and Wardy says, Gaffer, I want to word with you. Right. Sat down, I thought.
You think he needed a kitchen pick?
Yeah, basically. What's he want being worked on? So told him I don't work Saturdays. And I says, I'm from alright. And do you know, when you sat, so again, I'm into a different environment here. I'm drowning here because I'm out of my depth a bit and I'm going, everything alright? A bit intimidating. And he was like, yeah. What's your name? I says, Tom Crosby. And I thought, I can't even remember my name. So he just went, Tommy, can I call you Tommy? I said, yeah. Call me what you want. Call me what you want, Rudy. Yeah. He says, we'd like to see you again Thursday, if that's all right. I'm yeah, where? We're Forest Town, our home ground, training. We'd like you to come down and train. So we're yeah, great stuff. Wardy were on the next bench, you could hear everything. And Wardy were great because without him, obviously it doesn't happen. Do you know what I mean?
No.
And I went to training. Jay White, one of the best kids I've ever worked with. Without a shadow of a doubt, right nice kid. Proper professional. Played for Mansfield and do you know what I mean?
Big tall keeper.
And class and all that. Yeah. Good. Very, very good then. So I don't know what it was obviously not so many, but he were good. And he were great with me. Because you can go to places where keepers come in.
Yeah.
I mean, he must have looked at me and thought, I'm not worried about this. but he was so good.
So other than the car park saying, how far away is he?
You're on 6 yard box.
But it was
marking him off on bar, on post. He'll grow.
He just took me under his wing, and the first session, keeper coach were welcome aboard, this out, and I'm thinking, of this time, welcome aboard. But you know what we're 27, 28. At 27-year-old, I probably went I thought, I'm gonna get my head down here, train like I'm playing, which I always had a decent mentality when I was playing. I didn't go and toss it off whenever I went to football. I wanted to win a football match.
Yep.
But do you know when you've not got that keeper coach? Never had a keeper. We've always had one manager and people selling tea and biscuits from a boxing thingy. That's all I've ever known. And you're good at boozer after. That's it. But so I gets there and training kit gets handed, walk out, me and Whitey go out a bit early. We do our session, which our bollocks. And I've never been worked like. I'm thinking to myself, I'm hallucinating a lot here. Like, my head is gone. Like, when do we stop? FA Cup preliminary first thing before season kicks off.
Yeah.
So we had a game away, and he says, Jay White's suspended. He got sent off last game of the season. So you're playing the first 2 games, which is that and Pickering at home. First ever game they've had at Step 4 in league. No, it just fell out basically. Like, right. 5-0 FA Cup won. Didn't have much to do.
Happy days.
Got away with it. Fucking sound. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah,
no, there were like a few goal kicks, but they're only tapping out and no major.
That's what you want. Calm and nerves.
Yeah, sound. Anyway, it cuts to Saturday, and he's like, social media's going and thinking.
Because they're drumming up first game, step 4.
Yeah, step 4, and it's massive.
At Forest Arena.
Yeah, come and watch this, that,
You're thinking, no,
don't
stay
fucking
away.
watch these. Don't come here.
Get him up front at the programme.
Yeah.
But I wear Whitey's gloves because they're bigger. And I got to the game. Wardy were like, he knew well, shitting me said. But once I were in the changing room, and your peg's there, and I think I got in and Jock were like, make you send it home, mate. That's your peg. You do you today.
Yeah.
Well, everything seemed to just like be all right.
Yeah.
I felt like sound, do you know, when I did warm up. But I was doing things too fast. Like, so warm up were like, yeah. And it was flying by, and I thought, just have a minute to yourself, like, chill out. It's only, to some of these, it might look like I think, wait, what's the other about I played it? Not to me, it was like, what's going off here?
Yeah.
So, does warm up, goes out. Bit of a scrappy game. They have 3 chances. They're 3 my best saves I think I've ever pulled off.
No.
I nearly went.
I thought.
What you going to say? 3-0 down.
There's a save off my leg. There's a save where I've clawed it out and fell into old netting because I've had to dive back.
Yeah.
And there's another one-on-one save or what have you. Then we went 1-0 up straight away.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking,
Buzzing.
Second half time. Second half, we score straight away, 2-0. Okay, we're going to beat Pickering at home here.
Yeah.
They get a pen about 70 minutes, 2-1. I'm thinking, anyway, we won, 2-1.
2-1. Done.
Gets showered, goes up to the bar, sound mint, like absolutely cloud 9.
Yeah. Everybody's happy.
Everybody's buzzing.
Yeah.
Rudy Funk bringing me down to earth. Don't think you've arrived. This, that, other. How he is. Thanks, Tommy. Like, but he did an interview after. It was brilliant. Like, I told him who Tom's come from. No real background. He's coming in, and it was nice. And that week, I get a photo off my brother, big spread, and I'm pulling a save off in non-league newspaper, the non-league paper, and I'm like, what the man at March? My name in big black letters, and I'm like.
Thing is, when they'd opened it up on centre spread, it were actually full scale size photos.
I put it on both sides. Look at it. 5 stars.
They used to get
Yes,
that's
remember
right.
it, don't
They
they?
used to
Yeah.
get Starman, didn't they?
Starman.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I guess he scored goal, and I think it was Wellesley or somebody else. But it's always appreciate AFC Mansfield for giving me that chance to do that. Well, like that Pickering game, I can't express it. And like people will look at this and go, "Fucking Pickering," but to me, it's not.
Did Pickering go that year with Mansfield? You know the year before.
They might. I think they did. Yeah.
I think they raced away with Mansfield and Pickering were by far best two sides in that league that year. I think at the right side, I think Blotty got playing up front for Pickering.
Pickering had a right good, didn't they, for a few years. Yeah.
They were. I mean, it was tough season. Like obviously when I played, and also watching us get battered against teams, and not battered. That's a bit harsh, but like fine margins where you think that could have gone our way, and we've lost, and we're still second bottom, and then obviously, like I said, Rudy got sacked and Wardy come in. Wardy did a great job, kept us up. And presentation after, they announced it. Yeah. And lads are like, "Are you fucking joking?" That was it. That's how everyone found out.
Yeah, we're not going to go into Mansfield tonight and get your sends off.
Yeah, he said, sound. So
I'll not see you next year.
Yeah.
And that was that.
Can you end your tracksuits back though?
But I think so when you've had that sort of, we're all aiming for the same thing. We want to stay as a Step 4 club. You have a really good run towards the end of the year, and then you're thinking, obviously, your mind automatically turns to, right, we'll just keep nucleus on this side together and push on next year. And, you know, you're looking forward to it. You're playing football. Yeah. You've been given that opportunity, and then before you know it, it's just carpets pulled from under.
Pulled from under you, mate, yeah. And you're like, what? Now what? Because Wardy's got no club.
At that point in time, what did you do then?
Wardy's got no club. And I remember, I don't know if I went training with Tomo and Iltz at Stocksbridge then, or did Liam have Retford then? Liam K?
Probably, yeah, by then.
And Liam K asked me in there, and I mean, don't get me wrong, Iltz were class. Like Ed Hall, another class lad I've worked with, keeper, right nice kid, great keeper and all. Yeah. Went up and worked with him a few times. In and out, and I can't remember dates, but I ended up saying, Liam said, "Do you want to come here? You know, you'd be number one, you know, and find your feet, sort of thing, and cement your place." Yeah. And I'm playing regular, and I know the mentality is as well. If you know you're a number one, it's your shirt to lose. Yeah. A completely different mindset, innit? So that was and I'll say this on paper. On record, Retford United Football Club is a club that should be where your work stops now, and you should be up there.
Because I think, but anybody who looks at this from outside, you think just had a good season at Step 4, played 15, 20 games. Also, you would go in Step 7.
Yeah.
Is that where they were at that point?
They were Central Midlands, which a lot of people, I know, will say this, will say, "Yeah, but they were paying this, they were paying that." Well, what I'm going to do is say, "Don't pay me."
Yeah. So, going on about Retford then. So, first season?
First season was, it was tough really, because there were some good sides in that Central Midlands. Newark, who are now, obviously,
North East Counties one.
North East Counties, yeah.
North East Counties one. Or the Waters.
United Counties or whatever, yeah.
You've got, I mean, like
Retford FC.
Retford FC.
So
Dinnington were always, I mean, people, it were tough, and Retford were always Dern were in there. They were always, I mean, they were fight thorn. I mean, there's 6 or 7 teams that could damage it if you.
If you look at like Thorn now.
Well, there's quite a few. There's quite a few there. That's now Step 5.
So Thorn realised that there were a lot of teams pumping a lot of brass in, so they went to Lincolnshire League and coming to East Counties.
Yeah, they do it weird ways. And that when you used to read all arguments. Why are they doing that? Because they're doing it this way or that way. Yeah. Now they want to get up, which is fair enough. But we had a squad there that it were a good squad. It were some good players that have gone on to obviously play in North East Counties, things like that. But I mean, then we bring in like him in, like an older head, still play that level easier. But look, young lads are learning off and things like that. And Liam run it right. He did it right. Whether it's my pal or not, forget that. He did everything right, and he made it somewhere where you, again, like a family club where
it was enjoyable. It
was class.
What attendances were they getting at that?
I mean, that were another one though, Brett, where you
150s maybe.
Which is, but you're good here.
I know.
That was their club though, weren't it?
Yeah, it's their
150 fans, 200 fans. They're in your shirts. They love it. It's there. And
I think, like you mentioned earlier, when Stocksbridge, they had that rise, so they've got a good fan base. Yeah. So I know then there's a bit of an argument. People have said it past where it's Step 7. Shouldn't be charging. But if they're willing to pay, get them in, because every club needs that extra support, doesn't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you look at, I mean, no disrespect to the teams, but some of the teams are coming. Crowell, that play in a part on a field. Yep. And they're coming and playing in a three stand ground with in 200 people watching.
Yeah,
it's a cup final for
Custard.
so everybody wants to come and beat you.
Yeah.
And they were probably that season. It was us and Newark that were like at it.
On about grounds, I can remember we drew somebody in Whitkirk or somewhere away in a cup game.
That was
like
fucking
we got changed in a cricket pavilion in the middle of a farm. Chasing sheep off pitch before. So you got that's one half a league to Retford with 3 stands and
that were really
people paying a bit of money to come in and stuff.
So it was a really bizarre league to be involved in as well.
It was about our 6 months from going to Kettering in FA Cup to chasing fucking sheep about in Emmerdale, where it were. But I mean, that first season we didn't get what we set out to get, which was promotion. The second season, I mean,
when did you finish first season?
The third.
And only one goal.
One. Which is
what were you lacking then not to go up that first season? Were you goal scorer or was it just that you were two other good sides?
Taking note away from other sides, I think they were just slightly better.
Right.
Whereas you can argue toss and say, yeah, but again, people make their own assumptions, don't they? You had this, you had that budget, this. Nobody knows no unless.
But was it a disappointment to group? Did you think?
Yeah, because we're right in Newcastle and Newcastle won it. I think we played them 4 times this season.
Yeah.
Lost once, turned them over 3 times.
Yeah.
We just then would
go to,
we would go to then somewhere like Dinnington and get done.
And
the
points we dropped.
Yeah. So second season he kept Nucleus Liam kept Nucleus at side together, having a few or
he added
overall or
he added a few, didn't he?
Yeah.
You took more. Well, you still played, but you took more of a bit of a more coaching role.
Yeah,
and it were more of a. I mean, we won silverware. We won Nottinghamshire Cup or something like that.
We won Nottinghamshire Cup. I had left by then.
Yeah, you
to work commitments and.
I mean, COVID were in there at some stage, and they did this COVID Cup, and we beat Micklova reserves in final at Chef Club, but it weren't fucking reserves. A lot of them were first team.
Yeah.
And we beat them.
Games and
we beat them. And Liam were bringing trophies back to the club. It were enjoyable. And you didn't want for no. Honestly, mate, your gears set out. Yeah. I mean, like Sarah, who basically does everything behind closed doors, everybody needs a Sarah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She is like one.
Every club needs it. But I think looking at the Central Midlands, and I don't know how it works out, but you had to finish top. If you didn't count your senior, which was same feeder league into East Counties, you finish in top 5.
Yeah, it was weird.
Which Central Midlands for me.
So that second season, did you just blind it or did you?
We didn't. No, we didn't do it again. Which were like
no.
Well, the second season were cut short after we were flying top and COVID come.
Yeah.
I'm not. It's all right for me to sit here now and say we're a piss league. We were flying.
Yeah.
That killed us.
Yeah.
Good players. Mark West were playing.
Yeah.
Brandon Kane.
Brandon Kane. Tom Brook. All decent players. Yeah. Like really good. And we come back after that, and that's when shit hit fan kind of thing, didn't it? Yeah. A few things in back of house and what weren't right, and other managers getting talked to behind people's backs, things like that, just crap, which I don't agree with, and people know that. Yeah. So, but one thing led to another, and Liam walked.
So he walked?
Yeah. He walked. No, he didn't get sacked, he walked.
But there was too much going in the background for him to stay at football.
Yeah, we know.
Because I think, like, from anybody that wasn't involved in it, it was still a shock for everybody because he looked like they were on an upward curve. And
what he'd done and what he'd just filled bar with 2 trophies.
Yeah.
And it changed rapidly, basically. And then we're going in pre-season or what have you to a completely different outlook.
Yeah. New management team.
Is
that when Rye came in?
Right. Matt's come in. Yeah. He phoned me. I'd just landed from Portugal, and I got a missed call, and I phoned him back, and he says, "You're not going anywhere, are you?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "I want you to stay with us, and this, that, other." And I'd not even give it a thought.
You think you're in Magaluf?
Yeah.
You just got back from Portugal.
And I says, no. I says, if you're happy to out, if you want me to stay, like obviously we'll stay, sort of thing. So we agreed terms of what's what, and that were it. And we had a good season, a really good season. We got promoted. We just got outline, and we got promoted to North East Counties, which were obviously goal set from day dot.
And a step back in the right direction for a club who should be at that level minimum.
Yeah, you know, minimum. It's tough. It was tough because I'd have loved to have done it with Smudge, and no disrespect to any other lad, but what I mean is like in terms of Smudge and Cogs and Liam, you know, they put a lot of hard time into what they did, and they should have got promoted.
Yeah,
you know, sometimes you can say it was us that crossed white line that let them down and stuff like that. Fair enough, but it'd have been nice to do that. But it was great. It was a great good season. We won the league. Chairman took us all to Tenerife, all lot, like all players. Just had a massive piss up for 5 days. Like you don't really get that, do you? Especially from step 7.
Yeah.
And I mean, that were mental. And then the season gets me in pre-season. Everything's all right. Hunky dory. Starts pre-season. Got a bit of a niggle. So obviously you're thinking, I need to be right, because they play Mansfield every pre-season, and that gets 1,500, 2,000 for gate. Money for club. Club brings a full team.
Yeah. So what?
And I remember working away, and bearing in mind I put a lot of time and effort into driving back from work to not miss games.
Yeah.
Arguing with work about I'm leaving early.
Yeah.
You know, like there were times at AFC Mansfield when I drove back from Kilmarnock to play Pickering away. We lost 2-1, and second one my fault. Brilliant. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like,
went on middle spread then, were you?
No, mate, I weren't. Okay, but I get a phone call. I'm in an hotel room, wherever I were, and it's Gaffer, and he's like, I'd heard a bit of inkling and this, that, other. I says, I want to ask you if it's true. Nah, what I wanted to do bring his pal in, who'd been released from Scunny, and he needed to get fit because he were moving on.
Chappers.
He were moving on. Now, I'd worked with Chappers at Retford. What a nice guy. What a lovely kid. And put in a shit situation.
Yep.
So I'm thinking, he's just come in training, ticking over. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Well, turns out Ryan wanted him to play all of December, me to sit aside, and said, basically, be ready for January. To which I said, be ready for January. I've played fucking last 3 months. Like, what you on about? He's like, well, this is what, it's good for club. I don't mean this in a disrespectful way for Chappy. Not one person gives a shit if that's happening. As long as Retford are winning games and the club's doing all right, the image of the club's not going to change. So I had that phone call. He said that's what he wants to do. And I've said, well, I'll make it easy for you. I'll move on. There's 3.5 years of my time getting Retford to where we wanted to get to. And I'll move on. That's fine. And I've known Ryan a long time. I get on with Ryan. I don't dislike Ryan. I just dislike what he did. And I don't respect what he did. Wardy come and asked if I'd like to get involved with them as a sort of player.
Handsworth with Froggy.
Yeah, with Froggy. 2 of my pals. Tom were involved and all, one of my old pals, my oldest pals. 3 great kids we've got a lot of time for. And they were like, do you want to come and get involved as a coaching, like a player coaching role? You know, we've got a keeper, Dylan, and do you want to come in? And I said, yeah, I'd like to obviously just get back involved after Christmas, 4 months left or whatever it is, X amount of games, and I'll get involved and do a bit sort of thing. So that were a sort of a way into do my badges as well, to then go into coaching. And because that's something that's obviously on the horizon. And I thought, because I'd played for the last 3.5 years constantly, and I'm not complacent, but you're number one, you're playing well, so you're playing. With some madness that's happened, I'm not. So,
was it not your confidence about that?
Do you know? And not. Do you know myself? I'm a very trust massive with me. And I know I come into it late with football, but you know the little things like I said, where workshop where the tracksuit gets give him your training kit, you're in stand, and the little things that I go back to where I know I pick up things and I think I don't like that.
No.
And then I don't. But there were never ever any sort of like. I just felt we were flying in league at Retford. We might do a bit this season and all. I felt like everything was in place.
Do you reckon it was? Because I know you've had good times, and you've obviously said that previously that you've had some very good times in your junior life, in your senior career at county senior with your mates, having a booze up on a Saturday after you played. Good times at Mansfield and stuff. But do you reckon the Retford one, at that point in time, you were playing best football you've played? Or did you feel like you were? Were you happy? Were you turning up on a Saturday and thinking, I've got this nailed sort of thing, I'm happy with what I'm doing?
Yeah, I do. I feel, I can't speak for others how they feel they're going to perform, but I know in 5 minutes of warming up and taking 5 volleys and feeling how I'm feeling, I feel all right today.
Yeah.
Even though those outfield players, when you're warming up, you might feel lethargic, or you might feel. I knew and that were nearly every week. That I felt.
I mean, you were with a good set of lads who you thought, we're going to war with these, we'll win points.
What lads that have been there for 3 years?
Wardy and Frog,
I went in with Wardy and Frogs,
Did they announce that on Twitter?
Yeah, I think they announced it as Luke Litter, though.
There's a little shadowy corner.
But Handsworth's obviously, I've grown up around
your local club?
Pretty much,
I'm just saying, you've gone full circle, haven't we?
Yeah. And that's, like I've gone from
playing with turf and back at Handsworth.
And I'm back. And it's a good club, Stevie Owens, John Watt, brilliant people that will do out for you. And like I were there and X amount of games in, and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, I've dropped a right bollock. I'm sat thinking, have I kicked my last competitive ball at step 5, or what am I doing here, sort of thing? And that was because I did have options to go and play, but the fire in my belly to go and meet a load of new lads in a changing room, I ain't got.
Yeah, I get that.
It can be.
I just ain't got it anymore.
I get that. I understand.
At 37, I was like, I know I can play this step football, but I'm not about the money. Like I always, and Wardy said it to me, and he's bang right. I never relied on the money, but you become accustomed to it, and you think that could pay for that or that. You can still pay for it, but that'd have helped with that. I could have.
He has just been to Dubai as well.
that was nothing to do with it. But that's my choice. Like if I eat, sleep, breathe football, I'd want to play to as long. Like when people say play as high as you can, as long as you can. Well, I would have done. I'd have still been playing probably at Retford, all being well, till my days are done.
Yeah.
But that weren't my choice.
No.
So to then start again.
To then go. And then
relationships.
Dill, it come round where Dill basically, I don't know what happened, but he didn't play. He just well left with about 10 games to go. But before that, I played at Thackley when Dill were away, and I had a decent game, which was my first game back in ages. And then you get that bug, don't you? I want to play. Yeah, pissing down rain, covered in mud. Everybody's
there's a lot of mud at Thackley as well.
Yeah,
there's a lot of mud.
Sounds brilliant.
Do you know? Yeah, and I thought I'm missing
everybody,
so much.
Everybody watching this will have had that same feeling.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? And you think, I'm not going to be playing Tuesday, or I'm not going to be playing next Saturday because it's. Yeah. And I'd gone back to following Jay White as a number 2, and then Dill. After a bit, Dill didn't come, and I played last 8, did all right.
Yeah.
Went to this pre-season, did full pre-season, which Wardy said you need to get fit, understand that. Didn't really get as fit as I should have done, which is understandable. But when I went in sticks, I never let anyone down.
Yeah.
The first few games, did all right on a personal level. Last 2 or 3 that I played with shipped goals. Faculty shipped us for 6. Tidy 3. All 9 aren't my fault. But decisions are made. Yeah. I respect it because they're 2 of my pals, and my good pals, and I don't have to, like we said, I accept it. I don't agree with it, but I accept your decision because that's what I'm about. I'm not going to tear up and, you know.
Too long it took now to be falling out with people over a decision in football.
Already and Froggy me more to me than just I'm leaving it. Yeah. So I'm not going to fall out.
Wardy and Froggy could be sat here now.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So, and it's hard. And I've just said to him, I want some time off, and I don't want to, obviously, the lads are flying at the minute.
Yeah, they're turning corners.
And me being morbid, and you don't need that around the changing room. Yeah. Not that I would be you know what I mean, but...
What's the expectations at Handsworth as a local lad? Do you feel a bit more?
Do you know like you're playing at Handsworth, they don't get big crowds.
No.
But they get close people that you know.
Yeah.
So I look and I know 15, 16 out of 20 faces that have come out of the tunnel, and I think, Nick's there, or John's there, or somebody's there, and
Craig's there.
And then basically, that's the thing. The thing I'll miss the most.
Were you at that point in your career then, Cross, where you were just wanting that comfort, that home comfort, that local lads, the lads you could trust, the lads you
you were perfect, but you're perfect, mate. You're like, Handsworth were ideal. Again, coming full circle, Wardy put me into ladder, and I've probably left with Wardy at ladder, but it's not Wardy's, you know what I mean? I've just how it's come full circle with him.
Collapsed
But Wardy's always I trust Wardy. Like two people in football, gaffers wise, Liam and Wardy.
At the minute, that's
as it stands, mate. It's not.
Ways, I'm not. No problem.
As it stands, I'm still with Handsworth, but I'm just not. I think I know my place. I know what's happening. Wardy and Froggy haven't had to say it to me, but I think I know what's happening, and it is what it is. So they draw a line under it again, and that's it, really. And I mean, I didn't really want to be walking around Boggin Meadowall now at 37, but if time comes.
If that's...
By the way, you can't see on camera, but he does need some new training.
If that's the non-league curtain now, then, was it?
Yep.
Content?
Yeah, I'm looking back, probably, again, me being overachieved. I mean, I know this is another thing when I were playing with Mansfield, and I mean, Handsworth, not even pre-season with Handsworth, game, a pre-season game for Handsworth. Against Wolves. Fucking hell, what am I doing? What am I doing? I mean, if you watch YouTube and watch that game, you'll think, what is he doing? But that, like, I know these people out there that are like, how the fuck's Cros done that? He's not even that good. He's not the, and that sort of fuels your fire.
Yes, it does.
And I know people. I'm not saying jealous. You're not jealous. I'm not cheating now in people's eyes, but you know, like you can feel it. Do you know what I mean? You can feel how people are, and that bit of like they want you to fail a little bit.
What's achievement? 200-300 games in net as a keeper. Never been coached at 27.
Never been coached at 27. I'm my best pal.
Yeah. And as you say, you're drawing on that line. Best memories?
Best memories is Pickering for me. Is
that non-league paper.
Yeah. That non-league paper of the non-league paper that I've seen, where I've seen like Ross Anna in it and things at Chester and things like that, where you're walking through Sainsbury's and Ross is on front of it and things like that, and you think,
your old boy helping that up,
and I'm in the middle of it, and you're like little
it's non-league,
points
and we get
there.
it's non-league, and we're not in Sunday minute.
No,
but that non-league paper to us, and all these non-league players from step 3 to step whatever it is.
Yeah,
that's our paper. That's our.
That's it. That's it.
It's a big thing.
Yeah, and knowing as I do, one of the proudest games you've ever played in, where pictures were in Star, were about press and things. Yeah. Played for Stocksbridge, one pre-season game against Wednesday, your boyhood club.
My boyhood club, which that stands out as that were unbelievable. I mean, Steve Bruce had just took job, and they played Lincoln and Stocky on the same day, and I thought, shit. No disrespect to young lads, but we're going to get them all. Lincoln, obviously. I think Lincoln got Jordan Rhodes, Bannon, and Westwood.
Yeah, I got Ref.
I walked out, I got Newey, Forestieri, and Sam Winnall staring at me, and I thought, I want to be in for a great afternoon. We've got Sam Hutchinson, Kieran Lee, Iofa, Dawson.
They've always been good with that Wednesday, haven't they, up there?
Brilliant. And I ended up, I mean, first half, a 1-0, and I had a great game. Second half, they run riot. I mean, it was 5-0 in end, but I made a good account of myself. Yeah. And I've got my mate, Kingy behind net. Jamie King, one of the best keepers I've played with. Outfield again. When I was playing outfield. And he was behind, and I'm like, if he's giving me praise, and he's been at Leeds United and things like that.
I'll take that all day long.
All day, mate.
Yeah. And I think you go again full circle back to playing for Worksop in that FA Youth Cup. Family, friends coming to watch that.
Correct.
How many came to watch that one?
Out of probably 1,700 fans, I got 2 nephews. 1,500. They were my nephews. They were, like I went up to Cam Dawson after the game and I says, "Can you sign me gloves for my nephews?" He went, "Your gloves?" I went, "Well, I don't want to ask for yours." He went, "No, we're fucking stupid." He went, "Give me 2 minutes." So he had a photo with Tomo's little lad Oscar.
Yeah.
Ben, Noah, and Cam come into the changing room after. Our changing room, he says, "Where's the keeper?" In fact, I think he said, "Where's Tom?" So for him to know, I did, because for him to say my name were like really nice.
Yeah.
And he was behind door where keeper Peg were, in first door at Stocker. And he come in, he went, "I've done you that," and it said, "Best wishes" on both gloves. And he signed both, and he says, one for each nephew. Unbelievable.
Class.
Like, and that's a class act, that.
Massive gesture.
Yeah. And that for me were, I mean, I were on cloud nine. Like, I were on my phone all night. She's having a rake with me. And I'm thinking, you don't understand. Do you know what I mean? Like, that for me is like...
When they've done it, it's unbelievable. You play them pre-season friendlies against them pro sides, and it's like...
Even the fact that, like I said, we've done it. You touched the ball four times in game. 3 of them were throw-ins.
Yeah.
Like,
that's it. Yeah. But I'm grabbing corners. I'm grabbing all like Sam Hutchinson just to touch him. And do you know, like, why am I getting older players and stuff?
It's a great experience, isn't it? For a lad who's probably a lad who's watching them sat in cop.
Yeah.
Correct.
And sharing a picture with him.
You can't now.
Well, that's
you can't now because there's a restraint against it.
Yeah. Not allowed anywhere near it now.
Not touching all players.
Yeah, that's
one last thing we need to mention about charity.
Yeah, so the charity Ever Trust.
Yeah, and then obviously now I do a lot for Eves Trust. Is a Doncaster charity that's it's a good charity that's raises a lot of money for to make dreams come true for cancer patients. Doncaster area that's all ages, gives them the day they want, and it's I think it's 31st of May this year, the game. It's always at Donny Rovers. It's Donny Rovers v. Last 4 have been 2 Sheffield Wednesday teams involving like Paolo Di Canio, Chris Brunt, that's Wallace Waddle. He still waddles about. He puts bums on seats. It's a name in it. And then Liverpool have just done the last 2 years that some big names, Stan Collymore, SK, some big names that have done that, raising thousands. So, and now that's something to look forward to in summertime. Is raising money for Eves Trust, which, I mean, none of them don't know that I were a right back, so I get away with that. They think I were a keeper all my life, so I'm all right. But
so Eves Trust.
Eves
Trust is that's Martin who runs it. It's close to my heart, obviously, losing my mum to cancer. It's tough. So obviously, people you see who are struggling with it, if you can put a smile on their face and stuff like that.
Anybody listening? Eves Trust.
Cheers, guys. So yeah.
And how many games you had for that?
How many what?
How many games you play for them?
To be honest with you, I know I've played non-league from being a right back, but the maddest thing is I've been a Liverpool legend. I've been a Wednesday legend. So yeah.
Well, it's been absolutely class. Beyond, Tom.
I've really enjoyed it, lads. Thanks for having me.
Superb.
I hope it's when it goes out, people appreciate your story.
Yeah,
there's the first of many that we air, hopefully, and people will,
hopefully get behind it. And yeah.
Just going to finish with a few quick fire questions off the cuff.
This is where it comes down.
Honestly, so we've not got any script, nothing at all. So we'll take it in turns asking. I've been thinking about a couple while we've been talking. So I'm going to start off by best live game you've been to. And that can be any game of football. Best live game you've been to.
What an horrible question, because I know
he's got no chin in me. It's got to be. But it's got to be Barnsley Wednesday playoff final.
Barnsley Wednesday playoff, the recent one.
Yeah. Sorry, mate.
It's all right.
So, did you know that were coming so much?
Once you left your mouth, I knew what.
We hadn't rehearsed this, have we?
No, we hadn't.
So we haven't always been to
to be fair, he could have started with a worse question. I can remember ringing him, and he were in one end, and I'm saying, "But that's a penalty on Kitchen," and he says, "Yeah, it is." It made me even worse. Yeah.
We got one for him.
Yeah,
try and do three apiece.
Yeah. Best outfield player that you've ever played with?
You can't see him now.
Can I have legends, by the way, or not? Is it just who I played with?
He's a non-league and a legend.
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
Legend, I'm going to say Charlie Adam.
Charlie Adam.
So this one in the Liverpool game for charity.
Yeah.
So Charlie Adam.
As a player or as a character?
That left foot, there's no backlift. Yeah. I mean, I know you're left-footed, but didn't
mean any good.
No. That's why he stood out. It was just ridiculous. Character-wise, obviously, you can go to Canny or you can, you know what I mean? But ridiculous. Charlie Adam. Non-league. They were a striker who come to AFC from Northampton on loan. So Giuseppe, he were half Italian, I think, but it was ridiculous. I'd have to say, him. He were class.
Yeah,
possible. So, token one that everybody says: night in with missus. Night out with lads. If it's a night out with lads, how's it looking? What we doing? Where we going?
It is a night out with lads.
So she'll listen to this.
Sorry, Mrs.
The chance.
She'll listen to this. So it's a night out with lads.
Night out with lads.
And what's it looking like? Is it looking like a few beers?
To be honest, nowadays, yeah, you're looking at probably get out. It's quick. Obviously, football's not on agenda. Bit of an early bar. A bit of a sports bar, few games of pool,
afternoon
results,
scores on,
half past, late game, watch that and then think, a couple more than a Ruby, I think.
Yeah. It might have been a bit different to 18.
18
straight through.
18 in Kingdom, shirt off all
it would have probably been curry. I think Sunday morning when it's still outside at night.
There's been one or two kebabs that have been at cold on Sunday morning, up late again.
Initiation song.
I did it on a coach at AFC Mansfield, and it was John Terry sung it. Now I forgot. Stand by me, and I did it under coach, and that's where Wardy and Rudy got me up to do it, and I think I was more nervous of that than that Pickering game.
But got through it. Round of applause from coach.
Yeah, I was all right, to be fair.
Straight down, thank God, that's what I'm doing.
I did the first line, and one of the lads said, he's got a bit, and I thought, I could be all right here, so I fucking got into it. So
that's when you start. Yeah, join in, lads.
Last one from me. Probably know what you're going to say. I know what mine would be. But biggest inspiration for you in terms of Not necessarily just your non-league career, but you as a person, so your biggest inspiration?
I mean, without, I think obviously my dad taking me to the first game, things like that,
Yeah.
and still now, obviously Dan's got his kid, my nephews, can't make every game, but there's always a 5'6" bold bloke at the side of the pitch watching me play football, and I think that's.
So your dad and your brother?
My dad, my brother,
Yeah.
granddad.
Yeah.
You know, like it's.
That's that's the way I would have gone with mine, and
I think that's what's tough now. I know we're on, but that's what's tough coming out of the game. I mean, my granddad's 92, 93, and he still comes to watch it when I play. And I think you don't want to feel like you're taking that away from him because I've got to make my decision. Yeah, but it's hard. Yeah. It's tough.
One last one from you.
One last one from me then. What does future hold?
At the minute, mate.
Football wise.
I just think, as it stands at the minute, coaching, it's not on my radar right now.
No.
It's too early to say I'm missing it because it's been a couple of weeks. I'm missing playing. I mean, it's a different mindset because if I were playing, you're not thinking about other than playing. No. So, but when you're not playing, you've got to start thinking, I'm probably not going to get back in. At the minute, I don't think you can ever say you're not going to. Yeah. Mate, I might end up back at right back at.
But as a keeper,
as a keeper, mate,
you won't be surprised that if somebody said in 5 years Tom Crosby's still playing.
No,
as a keeper.
No. This don't get me wrong. Like we said, the minute you put something gets an again now, Twitter's the place or whatever it is. You have them people, so and so follows you, and then you get a message request. You get this, you get that.
Yeah. So I think we can safely say Tom Crosby is having a well-deserved break, and watch this space.
Put it like that.
Watch this space.
That'll do, mate. Yeah.
Cheers, son.
Thanks, boys. Enjoyed that.
Thanks. Cheers.